Now at 6, sharing their survival story.
I hear the gunshots. At the same time, I notice getting hit, and pretty much at the same time, my 8-year-old screams.
A family continuing to heal weeks after a mass shooting at the Rochester Hills splash pad.
Julie got shot, and Janek got shot, and Mommy got shot.
3 family members injured, including an 8-year-old boy who lost his eyesight.
We're all still alive, and we're still here.
The family opening up to me for the first time about the unthinkable nightmare and how they're trying to find a new path to happiness.
We begin tonight with that family sharing their survival story. It is incredible. Thank you so much for joining us for 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Carolyn Clifford.
And I'm Simon Shakette. It was supposed to be a safe space for families, but all of that changed on June 15th when that gunman opened fire, injuring 10 people at the Rochester Hills splash pad, then later taking his own life. Now, 7 weeks after that horrific incident, a family of 4 is sharing their story with me about what they've been through since that tragic day, and I myself had no way to prepare for what they had to say.
Happy birthday to you.
On June 7th, Janek Bebout was celebrating his 8th birthday with family.
Happy birthday, dear Yanni.
Brooklyn County 911, what's the location of your emergency?
I'm on Auburn Road. There's an active shooter at the splash pad in Rochester Hills.
Only 8 days later, a gunman stealing his sense of peace, safety, and his eyesight.
Mommy, me, and my little brother Yulan went to a splash pad in Rochester Hills, and then someone with a gun came and he shot me in the head and Yuli in the leg. A Batman and cage, boom, boom, boom.
Janek's 4-year-old brother Yulin describing the horrifying scene that played out at the Brooklyn's splash pad in Rochester Hills.
Julie got shot, and Janek got shot, and Mommy got shot.
That changed the entire landscape of our lives.
Those haunting moments have never been talked about by families struck by gunshots that day, until now.
Everything happened super fast.
Parents Johanna and Joshua Bebout telling me they're breaking their silence in hopes of stopping mass shootings like this one.
I hear the gunshots. At the same time, I notice getting hit, and pretty much at the same time, my 8-year-old screams.
For Johanna, it all seemed to happen in a split second.
From the first moment I hear the gunshots up to the point that we're laying there and everything had already happened to us with our wounds, it was at the maximum 2 seconds.
You shielded your children with your own body.
Yeah, yes, I did shield them. And I just grabbed both of my kids, one in my right arm, one in my left, and I jump over a little teeny tiny wall. I'm trying to get back up to run with the kids, but I couldn't because both my legs were broken.
Amid those screams, she recalls the fear of not knowing who started firing or if they had left.
I was bleeding out from my right leg, and so I just began to apply pressure.
Shot 7 to 8 times. She says both she and her older son needed immediate medical attention. EMS rushing them to Troy Beaumont Hospital, along with other families who were also shot.
It just looked like a scene from a movie. Ambulances and police everywhere. And I just saw people laying, and it was just chaos.
Joshua can still visualize arriving minutes after, frantically searching for his family.
I first found Janek, and Janek was laying down on one of the small hills there, and I saw the gunshot wound through his head. And shock doesn't even begin to describe when you see your own child laying on the ground shot. So Johanna was shot in both of her legs, in her shoulder, in her hand, in her abdomen once or twice, in her back, and she was bleeding out in her leg and in her stomach. Both my wife and Janek were needing life-saving emergency surgery.
They credit doctors who saved them and first responders who arrived quickly. The family eventually moved to Royal Oak Beaumont, where all 3 remained in the ICU for days. Janek later released after a 2-week stay. His mother, a total of 3 weeks. A Attention all the while on Yulin, who had a bullet removed from his leg, and Janek now living without his vision.
Janek had to have part of his skull removed to allow for the brain to swell, which he's still missing. That's why he wears a helmet now.
We're grieving the loss of Janek's eyesight, that his eyesight was robbed from him. And at the same time, we're just incredibly grateful that we're all still here and that we have no funeral and that we're all together as a family still.
During our time sitting down, I asked the Bebout family if they were afraid before this took place of deadly school shootings like those at Oxford and Michigan State University. Their answer, nearly impossible to believe.
Our cousins went to Oxford school. The oldest one that was there is still traumatized. He still has nightmares. We were shot 2 times in our family now.
We knew of the fact that shootings take place. We don't want to take that chance, so we'd rather just homeschool and lead a small, quiet life, which we did all the way up until that day.
But refusing to give up, gathering strength from one another, this family is unbroken.
I'm thankful for that I can now take care of all 3 of them. Multiple doctor's appointments every single day, just making sure everybody is getting the care that they need.
I've heard probably 10 times that I'm a walking miracle. They cannot explain this to themselves, how the bullets went into exactly the right places.
Sheriff Michael Bouchard shared publicly that the shooter left no clear motive, but displayed mental health issues and had access to numerous guns. Joshua says he's extremely grateful to counselors from the sheriff's office and to the outpour of support that's come through letters and other acts of kindness from strangers.
We are so grateful and so thankful for all the people who have prayed for us, who have written letters to us.
What did the letters say?
We love you and we're thinking about you.
Letters on letters of encouragement and just all the help that we're getting. It's amazing.
She's struck by their spirit and positive energy. I myself was so moved by the Bebout family, who tells me their faith and love have helped start the journey to healing. An amazing 8-year-old, Janek, now tackling his future one step at a time. And for Joshua, it's also about finding a new path to happiness for his family who survived the most unthinkable of nightmares.
We work with a lot of trauma therapists right now to try and help with the psychological damage that has occurred through this. We had a quiet life before. How do we have that life again now?
There's still laughter in our house. My children inspire me so much. He still tells me, Mommy, I'm still having fun. You know, don't be too sad about it. And they give me so much strength.
We're all still alive. Yeah, we're still here. The only thing that happened to me is that I was shot in the head. I can't see anymore, but there is a chance that I can see maybe one day again.
With all of those physical injuries, the emotional scars are so deep for families we talked to in Carolyn. To think that they homeschooled their children to keep them safe. They even have a cousin who attended and was inside Oxford High School at the time of that mass shooting.
Oh, I mean, it's no doubt this family will be impacted for a long, long time. But to hear that little boy say, you know, I just hope I'll be able to see, you know, in that eye once again in the future. We're going to send so many prayers their way. I can't believe they're talking just 7 weeks later, and I'm glad that community is wrapping their arms and sending them so much love, because that's what they're going to need to heal over the long haul.
And thank you to them for trusting us with this story. It's the most difficult interview I've ever done.
Absolutely, Simon. You've done a great job telling their story and bringing inspiration even in tragedy.
Thank you, Carolyn. We're continuing to share how you can donate to the families on WXYZ.com as they continue to heal.